This is Gloucestershire Vintage and Country Extravaganza 2026. South Cerney here. And the all important traction engines here. Got the two Fosters here. And there's another one. Given a few pleasure trips around here, just coming down. They got their own dedicated ring. Certainly a bit easier when it's wet. This is the old Airfield here in Cirencester. The steam car, the Stanley. Alright. And the all important steam ring here. Lovely day for it. Second of the 2-day showcase here, all throughout the weekend. The vehicle had many uses over the years. Steam powered saw here, fire engine, or firing up for the day's proceedings here. 11:15 here. Steam power engine from 1944. Basically, it's a pump. We got the parish notices on it. The RP rehearsal going back for more years. All the sights and sounds. Working steam here. At a working steam rally on demonstration. Now they don't go in the main ring. Got their own dedicated ring. Check out the tractor there. D. Brownton from Stroud. West Ridge Construction Ride. You've had quite a bit of use over the years. No doubt a few tractors here for backup. Commercials. John Fowler there. Ransom from 1920. Got the all important water here. There we are, all the essential preparations and cleaning there for show. The tiller Foden here for Stourbridge in the Black Country. So north of here, the Foden, good chance of compensation. The Burrell engine here, or present and correct, the Fowler. The Fowler, of course, big Leeds company in the day. Linked to the Garrett. The Showman's engine there, that's one with a big top. Saves you from getting wet on a very bad day, certainly. Some have been converted, but certainly keep you dry. For the busy day's work in winter. Woodchester, there we are. barrel engine. Another one alongside here. And the pleasure trucks run around. Meanwhile, back to going down the line up here at South Cerney. Heavy haulage, of course, various uses over the years. Not least with on farms and of course road building and various other essential requirements, including during the war. Borough Road locomotive. A man's cart and wagon. Leeds. Not to be confused with any more modern companies. Certainly. Not being British, perhaps being other parts of Europe. John Fowler. And the barrel engine there. Got the Foden steam lorries here. Taunton. Must be up from down there. Of course, they would have been used all over the country. Another barrel engine. And another barrel. Fowler. Copley Steam Association and another Fowler. Open top bus there. Trips around the airfield here. First mix of models over the years. Wallace and Stevens from 1929. Of course, did support the road, the war effort. Oh, you're right. Wallace here. Fat road traction engines. Of course, this may well be the biggest one in the country. I'm not sure, but with the demise of the Dorset Rally, which I've never been to, unfortunately. 1902 old timer. What sort of thing you might go every 5 years or so. Steamroller washing. Nash mower, they were 1950s. One of the first rotary mowers and designed by H.R. Nash. There's other equipment here from over the decades. Various British makes over the years. Light industrial trucks section. Now I do know this is quite big, so I can't show everything. It'll be a total nightmare to try and get around. can probably try it best to do a bit of a walk around, but not of all exhibits due to the amount of paraphernalia here, and certainly got cars, tractors, motorbikes, commercial, buses, ex-military, light industrial, horticulture, Land Rovers, and the Grand Parade. Pedal cycles are in now, I do believe, and the motorcycles certainly can't do all that, so it won't be here later on. Got a couple from Nigeria. If I can look at the steam engines, and others here. A woman from Zimbabwe. So different people here today, and some living just up the road. So a lot to see. Some would say too much, unless you spend the 2 days here. It looks like a T20 here. A very popular early tractor after the war. Which are now preserved. Sadly, to the demise of the horse, some would say. Hopefully the smoke won't obliterate the view here on this lovely summer's day down at South Cerney. Certainly won't need the regular water top-ups. Now I was going to try and find the cars. As he was saying, the smoke is down to the coal they've had to source. People from overseas couldn't get their regular supply. It's a steam car here. The Road Roller Association. Let's try saying that when you've had a few. All fired up, ready to go here. Their own dedicated ring here. Lovely old van here. Kind of workhorse in the day. It is a Morris. Probably lovingly restored. Even got the round trees of fruit pastels. It's quite original, may not be, of course. Around about 1971. Alice Chalmers there. Tractor. Country roads, and we have American cars here. Fits in with the music there. First cars here. Now, I will endeavour to do a walk around. There is a lot of cars. Always at this one. Found it out a few years ago. Walk down through some of the cars here. The American stock here. A few running repairs here as well. A lot bigger than the British counterparts, of course, and the European. We're slightly different, of course. Ford, of course, Ford of America, Chevrolet, and various others here. From over the years, you might have even seen them on the American films, GMC there. Because they've had a big impact on the British way of life as well. And the British industry over the years. We have the Daimler Lanchester BSA Owners Club here. Even for sale here, 1951, 22,500. Doesn't seem very much for a car like that. Even got a radio in that one. The Daimler DB18. Others here. Nice to see a write up. Some do, some don't. 19. I owned it since 1983. $2.5 litre. He hasn't put the air down, I don't believe. But probably similar to the ones next door here. Certainly the manufacturer was what? 54 to 58 by the looks of it. Of course, Daimler not really going anything anymore. Don't think it's part of Jaguar's lineup anymore, unfortunately. Should well be Daimler Dart, of course. One of the only sports cars made by Daimler. In terms of a two-seater. Sounds well there. Manchester 14, 1953, and another Daimler Dart from 1960. Various MGs, and we have the Morris Minors here. Pick up lovely colour there, so obviously that's my same as the one next door here in pink. Another one with split windscreen here. Police Morris Minor, there we are. Morris Minor Owners Club, Gloucestershire branch. And this is a police car needing a bit of work there. A few more here, very popular. Easy to get parts for, and of course easy to maintain. Ideal. Classic, certainly if you don't want too much maintenance, or of course some people use it as a starter classic. That's based on a 2CV, I do believe. Another 2CV, not exactly 2CV club. Deux CV, I think in French. These French farms used to throw all sorts in them, from old sheep probably, eggs, whatever. And what do we have here? It's a Morgan from 1934 F4. And we have the Armstrong Siddeley here, another sadly long gone make. And the Triumph 2000 here. Now it does look like the Mark II, but it's got an earlier registration number on it, so possibly not the, it's a cherished plate or whatever there. I think these were more or less mid-late 70s. I think they all, production all stopped in about 1977. Because the Mark I think was probably 68 or so till about 70. 5, and then the facelift here. Great cars in the day, but like the Rover 2000. Trouble is, some would say they compete amongst each other. The Mark II 2000, there we are. And the 2 CVs there. And others. And we have the Reliant Robin here. No less. And the classic Jags, Wolseley, Saab, of course, another long gone make. But this Jaguar, at Daimler even, Daimler V8 250 saloon even, this one's for sale. Perhaps it's a sign of the times. 83,000 miles. Oh, he's got an XJ6 for sale. No, oh, actually no, he's got another Jag for sale, beg your pardon. It's an XJ6 4.2 long wheelbase. 83,000 miles. About 9,000, that's about a P-Res. Beg your pardon, this is not for sale. This is the V8 250. Got the history there as well. Perhaps he decided to downsize. D-Reg. Let's go. Goldtier Wilhelm Daimler died in 1900, was a German industrial combustion pioneer. There we are. Independent British manufacturer, also founded in London by H.J. Lawson in 1896. They were set up as manufacturing base in Coventry. Bought the right to use the Daimler name simultaneously from the Germans, basically. After early financial difficulty and reorganisation of the company in 1904, Daimler Motor Company was purchased by Birmingham Small Arms BSA in 1910, which also made cars by its own name before the Second World War. In 1933, the BSA bought Lanchester's Motor Company and made it a subsidiary of the Daimler Company. Royal warrant was given by the monarch in 1902. Lost this privilege in the 1950s after being supplanted by Rolls-Royce. Well, there we are. Bit of information there. Very interesting information there. So the British bought the rights to the name. Got part of Jaguar over the years as well. Lovely Wolseley here.
Yeah.
Luxury automatic.
We sat there, we're chatting away, and I said, mate, get on it. So his daughter took pictures, and he said,
oh, rich one.
shut the boat down if you want.
Slightly under. Yeah, lovely. Luxury, oh. Yeah.
He asked what I did, I tell him HGV. Yeah.
And we have learning car on the Metro Rio here. There we are. It's a car used for motoring schools as well, teaching people to drive over the years. And the Dalboy racer and the Reliant Robin, it's not the original, of course. Tax in post as Dalboy will put on the windscreen. Oh, even a penalty charge notice, and the blow up dolls there as well. So, I believe we're filled with toxic gas. I do believe. They ended up running away from the car before it exploded in the back of the car, I do believe. On one of the episodes of Only Fools and Horses. And here we have the old Austin A35, I do believe. And the luxury for the summer, the Morris Minor convertible. Now, I will endeavour to do some of the cars, but there's so many here that you can't get around them all. So many of them, of course. Wolseley 1500 here, Triumph, Spitfire, and tractors in the main ring shortly as well. Very popular Austin Healey Frog Eye Sprite there. Triumph 2000 Cortina. Now, it is difficult to get around a lot of these cars, but hopefully, just hopefully, I may have seen some of them at other shows and perhaps posted on other productions. Tramp TR6 here. Lovely old Elvis there. Sadly, Bristol's gone. And they wanted a new range car, but sadly, as usual, didn't have any money. The Humber Super Sniper, that's a very rare car, being an estate. I've never seen one of those. In fact, sadly, I've never seen an Austin 3 litre estate either. Sadly, they've seen much demise. Lovely cars. Might see our old friend John at some point. The car my grandfather had here. The 216S Rover. This is certainly a rather plush mull in the van and plough. I know my grandfather didn't have central locking, but he did have 5 gears, I do believe. That's a G-Reg EFI. Yeah. Expect central locking. Probably got the electric front windows and the sunroof. I think the S had the sunroof as well there. Not bad. Another two next door. Probably the 216 Sprint here. All right. All going. My grandfather had one of these. Well, there's 216S.
Yeah, that had the Honda, was it?
No, that was a 213. He had a 216.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that? That the 216?
That's a 213S.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
The Honda version there.
Yeah. He had 2 of them in the end. Yeah. Morris Minor, there we are. The customised 2-door, and this one's for sale. There we are. 1971. The Morris Minor. And we have here the luxury. Now, I got a feeling it's possibly in Austin, Cambridge. But like my grandfather had. Same as the Rover 216 he had, but don't see so many of these around now. It's the Austin, Cambridge. Vauxhall Velux. Once mentioned on Only Fools and Horses, I think it might have been Uncle Albert. Or was it Grandad? One of it. Certainly one of the earlier episodes it was when they were mentioned. Split windscreen, earlier Morris Minor convertible. And the workhorse Morris 1000 van here. The post office used to use these. This one's an old Royal Mail. Ford Escort. Austin Helia Sprite, the mini British Open here. Another Trans sports car. Of course, I mean many sports car. I think it's probably the TR4. Now, like I say, I will endeavour to get on some of these cars. I might have to come back later on if I'm going to see the tractors. TR4A. Due to the fact there's so many here and so much to see. The MG. Is it an MG Magnet? I'm not sure. Of course, they made a comeback with the Chinese ownership. It's the MG Magnet ZA Saloon. There we are. 1956. And the Tramp Stag here. And the sports car. Morris 6 vintage. I won't bang up to date. Well, certainly further on in era. Jaguar. Now it's the XK8, I believe. Is this yours?
No.
Posh, isn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah. Very popular here.
Yeah.
Five Valleys Mini Club. I think it might have been the Longbridge Rally as well. Mini Clubman there. The original. Other minis here now. They're very popular. Certainly very popular with young people. Even the Metros have become a lot more popular now. I've seen at the Longbridge Rally. Certainly popular over the years. Perhaps even more popular than they were a few years ago. Especially the MG versions. I mean, they were always sporty and had good handling. Mini Clubman there. British 1275 GT Clubman. And most other cars from Fords, Gradas and all. Cotswold Classic Car Club. Now some of these, as I can just about tell, do go around different. They're always together because they go around various car shows. And some of these cars looks like they have been shown before, and I have showcased. Of course, they've been seen before the pandemic, 1926. Standard Stratford all-weather tourer there, another vintage. And looking down, we have the another standard Coventry Company. Another standard here. Standard 9 Deluxe. There we are. Total luxury. As I say, the Austin Apache and the Austin Cabers there. They're always at the shows. Land Rover, there we are, very popular. Another one very popular. MG B Roadster, another very popular car. Ferrari even here. There's Triumph. Jensen over here. Range Rovers. Now we'll have to endeavour to come back. Got some classic cars up here. There we are. Inside the Jag. Lovely. Luxury. 3.4. Certainly. Triumph. Still very popular. Triumph Spitfires. Of course, a lot of Japanese cars on British roads now, and the sports cars are no exception. The Triumph Dynamite E-Type Jag. But I will have to come back if I'm going to do more, because there's so many to do here. The E-Type Jag. Bit of work needed there. MG Metro, there's one there, the MG Metro. And Mini Cooper 35th anniversary there. Another E-Type Jag. Ford Cortina, now Jag's 1967 by the way. Mark II Lotus Cortina 1968. 1600cc. Lovely Triumph Dolomite. My grandfather used to talk about these being a sporty car. Another Vauxhall. And the Jensens here. There's the Jensen. I believe David Dimbleby had one of these. I think he had the convertible. That one is there. Many years ago. And the Jensens here. Of an older era here. .541R. John Webb, Alec Harris. No year on that one. I have seen some of these before, I do believe. Jensen Healy. Always nice to see something different. And there's a few more here. Is it Panama? Possibly French. And the Austins. Now they always seem to attract a lot of cars here, like as I say, so trying to get right of it is not easy. The Austin A35 Owners Club. Rare van here. There's Gloucestershire group here. Lovely rare van there. You don't see many of those around. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen one of those before. See some of the cars occasionally here. The saloons. Now, walking around. Some of the cars here. Various cars from yesteryear, British sports cars. Mini Owners Club, we've got another Wolseley. Lovely luxury BMC car there, 1300. Just before the amalgamation. Riley Alf there, lovely luxury Mini, sliding windows there. And I must get back to over to these tractors, I believe. Alright. Minis. Classic Mini, of course. Not to be confused with the later Mini. Although, of course, that keeps the name going. Some motorbikes here. But I cannot do everything. It's physically impossible. How do we have the lovely Austin Gypsy here? My grandpa had one of these once. Sadly, a tree fell on it. Very rare. I think military used to use them, just like Land Rovers. Perhaps we did replace them over the years. Austin Gypsy. And what's down there? Defence Corps. There's sports cars here as well.
In front of Edith May now. So vehicles like this get converted after military use into things like timber tractors because of how they come out of military service and then economically bought and converted by manufacturers like Automower. But can you tell us a bit about your one?
We've had it about 8 months now. It's a 1939 gun tractor doing what it should be doing, and it's towing a Czechoslovakian gun.
No, I see the gun on the back. So when he pulls out, you'll see the trailer on the back, which when you look at it and see its steering mechanism, you've obviously got the drawbar, and then you've got linkage rods, just like you'd have on the front of a normal vehicle. So it does, looking at that, it does look like the trailer articulates as well. The Scammell, so Scammell come before Leyland. Leyland, they had the takeover with Leyland. The likes of the Crusader that we saw earlier on the front row, the Scammell Crusader later become the Leyland Amazon. So this, oh, he's the man. So the Scammell Salmon's Amusements. Now, quite often ex-military vehicles were then converted, as I said earlier, to things like timber tractors for winching, etc., etc. But the fun fairs also took a huge liking to them, Scammell being one of the mainstays within the fun fair world for many, many years. Can you tell us a bit about this one?
The commentary going over there. Last few vehicles. The ex-military. They have to make some models over the years.
With any vehicle on the rally field, you can put them back to how they were originally, but on the same basis, everything is part of its history. So it's obviously gone through the transition over the years from being a military vehicle, then being retired from military service, put into civilian service, and then latterly being used by a fun fair. When it moved into the fun fair world, it wouldn't have been unusual to see a vehicle like that Scammell pulling 2 or 3 trailers up and down the country with fun fair rides on, living accommodation, so whether it's the ride or the 30-40 foot living wagons with a pay box behind, generating sets on the vehicles themselves. So very, very versatile vehicles indeed.
military leaving the main ring here. South Cerney. The old green goddess sped through there. Not a fire engine. Land Rovers. Edith May. Sorry about some of the speaker problems here. Oh, we even looked like might have been got married with that one. On that one, there we are. As usually over the OCC was saying. Used by Fairgrounds and everything else over the years, converted.
So, as the last of the military vehicles leave the arena, it looks like Taylor has done an absolutely sterling job at making the arena run on time this weekend. I think this is the first, no sort of...
and here come the buses!
Meant in a derogatory way or anything, but I think it's the...
Our urge to look out for low-flying enemy aircraft now. Could be offices, sergeant's mess as they call it, or barracks. South Cerney. Obviously it's out of bounds. This is the airfield here. I think they've had an open day there, or certainly perhaps a new recruit day. So a lot of people out there when I came, I think it was the last time. Sorry about the view through the fence here. But anyway, offices and whatnot here. Here's the open top bus trip round the airfield. There he goes. The trip round on the traction engine for the firefighters charity. Now there's a ring here, dedicated ring. Also have the breakdown recovery vehicles here. full motion here, and we have Marjorie, Peterborough Gas Company. Cutting wood here. With some diesel powered rather than steam. Marjorie tractor there. Working in the country. For a bit of firewood for winter fuel. Extensive uses for these over the years. Diamond Queen. Load up with coal here. A few photographs there as well. You can get covered in soot with these. A bit like when the wind's blowing. John Fowler. Very mild here today. Yeah, I do know these haven't got any brakes, so we rely on gravity. I'm not going too fast, of course. Very careful. Going downhill. And the main ring here for the steam traction. Loading up with coal there. Roller Association. The Foster here in the corner. Loading up with the coal here. In the skip there. That's South Cerney.